Coming in at number 11 with a 2.37 was Final Fantasy IV, the complete for the PSP, not the DS.
Really? You got that low of a score?
Pardon me?
I thought the
Hold on,
DS
sorry. Final Fantasy, sorry. My list was, look, I was listening to Final Fantasy XI for a while. I'm sorry. I have no interest in that. I was zoning out on you guys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
coming in at number 11 with a 2.37 is Final Fantasy IV for the DS. There we go.
I was about to say, complete collection
Okay, the
definitely
complete
didn't get that
collection-
low.
Complete collection, now that I'm actually giving it a real try,
You're actually enjoying it?
I would have been like, I don't know why I got that low of a rating, but a part
Nope,
of me...
DS.
Well,
We're
DS
on
is
DS, ranked at number 11.
For obvious reasons.
Why?
Why?
Because the difficulty
No,
ramps
why?
up so ridiculous.
Why did they do that? Why is it only that?
They
version?
added, listen to this, they added a 0 to every monster in the game. Every boss, every main monster, everything past the level 15 marker of you moving through the game has an extra 0 on its life bar.
Why?
Because they wanted you to feel the challenge.
Oh, and you felt it, Shane. You felt the fuck out of that challenge.
You know what makes a game fun? Not dying over and over.
Then don't fight Proto-Babble.
That does...
You will get raped.
That sounds like a really cool name. I should have taken.
Yeah. No, it's too late. You're Proto guy. You're locked in.
Babble?
I think that sounds...
That's pretty awesome, though, because we're talking Proto-Babble. Do it. Yeah.
Nope, it's too late.
Sounds
He's
so
locked
cool.
in.
But babbling is my job.
True.
Listen to the wrestling corner.
I just don't understand.
No,
I mean,
good.
listen, man. They got so many different versions.
That is
of
one
four,
show of ours
and the
that I will
one that
never
got
watch.
the
That's fun.
3D fucking remake, pretty much, is the hardest one. That's
Yep.
the one I wanted to play.
Yeah, because it looks...
And exactly because I guess it
interesting
had voice
except for
acting.
chibi heads. The voice acting I didn't mind, actually.
Yeah, you know, it looked good for a DS game. It really did.
Like the scene with
Except
Edge and
for their legs. I
Rubicante
don't
when they're
understand
in the
their feet.
Tower of Babel. And
You pay attention to their
Rubicante's...
feet? They're all pointy. Like they don't have feet. I thought that was kind of strange, but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. And I was like,
Yeah,
I want
it's
to play
weird.
this. And I'm like, fuck this game. Why are you hard? I don't listen. I'm not used to playing the older Final Fantasy, so please do not be hard for Shane. Let me go through.
When they increase the difficulty, like, I understand, like, they assume that everybody that's going to go get the game is going to be like a veteran that's looking to take it to the next level. Like, what can I do now?
They did add in some extra stuff to help try to
You know what would
alleviate that with the
have
augments.
You know what would have helped if they wanted to do
Yeah.
that?
Slightly.
Difficulty selection.
Or white.
Yeah.
Technically,
That would've been-
white was also another
That would have
thing
been.
added in to
If they
help
would have just put
alleviate
that
it.
in, it would have been fine. Because for veterans like Nick and yourself,
That want to play it with
you
a
guys
little
can
more
play it on
challenge.
harder. But for somebody who hasn't played it that much, I'd play it on like an easy or a normal.
This
Oh,
game
no.
just...
Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy challenges for games that I've beaten ridiculously. No.
Dude,
No.
even at level... if you're
Fuck
a
no.
level 87 at
In the
the end
Lunar
of Final
Core,
Fantasy
you're dead.
4, you're still not strong enough to handle the core.
And
Like,
the
2
worst
ice
part-
dragons will appear and be like, ice thing. And you'll be like, damn, that hurt. And then they'll be like, bite. And you're like,
Oh, there
Huh?
goes Rosa. She's dead.
yeah, one bite, if you survive it, you're silenced.
Amazingly, because
Which-
now I can't use
which-
my white mage, and they bite my white mage.
And
Yeah.
then, so like,
So
they'll
you give her a
appear,
ribbon,
they'll appear with 2 of those things.
and then pray she survives.
One will bite. That's like 600, no, way more than that. Sorry, because I'm
With
like...
several thousand.
Yeah, it's like
damage.
several thousand damage. So they're like, bite Rosa. She's now down to only like 1,000 life or something like
If
that. And she's silenced. And then the other
Unless
dragon
you
is
go
like, watch this. Ice Storm that does like 4,000 damage to the entire team. She's dead. Cecil's like, oh, that's bad. So he's like, I better life her. While they attempt to kill one. They're like, ching, 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 ching. They kill one dragon. The other dragon's like, bite Cecil.
Before he casts spell or throws item.
Yeah, because they're
Well, shit.
faster than you.
Now the paladin's dead.
So
And
you
the
were
white
attempting
mage
to
is
do
dead.
life, and you killed one of the dragons, but then they bit Cecil.
In the face.
So Cecil is like, crap, now I'm silenced, she's dead, I have like 10 hit points, the other two guys I didn't heal this round, now you're gonna try to outdo the dragon.
Alive,
Yeah, speed
you could try to do a Shura.
But then the dragon is like,
But then
oh,
you
my
have the
turn
1 in
first,
3
ice storm, whole team is wiped. You're level 87, you're hardcore,
Yeah,
but
you've been playing
nope,
it out.
you're not hardcore, because this is Final Fantasy IV DS.
Yep.
See, Final Fantasy IV DS is that game that you go and get all the sirens, and then you run to the Pink Puff room, and you go, Siren! Fight some Pink Puffs. Nope, didn't drop my tail. Siren!
Just glad I'm playing
Fight
the
Pink
complete
Puffs.
collection.
Nope, didn't
Dude,
drop my tail.
the complete collection is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that's kind of like the problems we've been running into trying to replay FF1. Nick is playing one version.
Oh,
Me and Scotty are playing another.
I beat
Bill's
it.
playing
You
a different.
beat it. Bill's beat it. You're still working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
Shane
even
started
close.
it, and he's
Not even
yeah.
close.
but that's what I mean. We've all been like going through the game,
But
and
I'm
we're like,
playing a
okay,
different
we know what
version.
Nick is playing
I'm
backwards,
playing
one a day
D&D
spells,
variant.
whereas the rest of us are playing with MP. And then Bill runs into a problem where he goes into the Chaos Shrine and gets fucked on.
Because
and we're like,
he doesn't
what are you
go
talking
to the Chaos
about?
Shrine, he goes to the Labyrinth of Time because he's playing the PSP version.
Yeah.
And now Bill's got a mad
He
face.
looks super
But
happy.
we'll get to that when
It's
we go to
it's
Final
kind of
Fantasy
like that.
I
There's
revisit it.
depending
Yes.
upon which version you're playing, it might fuck you.
Coming in at number 10 with a 2.43, we have Final Fantasy IX for the PlayStation 1.
It was a good game.
I thought this would rank higher just because
Yeah,
people liked it.
It was a good
seven,
game.
yeah, 7, 8, and 9 were like that was like the
It was a
golden
good-
age of like.
Here's the thing. It was a good game
Yeah.
in certain aspects.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't.
One of the big
I
things
didn't play
I
it a
am a
lot. My
stickler
brother
on,
loved
and
it.
Bill already knows this the most out of everybody.
Yeah.
With my movies, with my games,
Right.
if you ain't got a soundtrack that's worth a damn, your game has failed.
I thought 9
I
had
feel
a
like that's
decent
true.
soundtrack.
If you can't
I
stand the game,
remember
you're like, ugh.
3 songs from 9. Out of this, 4 discs?
Yes,
right?
It's 4
It
discs.
was long.
3 songs out of 4 discs worth of music.
Well,
There's
I'm not
more. There's more songs on the Final
Right.
Fantasy IX soundtrack than you think.
One of the reasons
I
I never played the
remember
game a lot was the chibi
3.
characters was a turn off for me. I don't really know why. I mean, I guess now thinking back, I should give it a better chance. But
They tried
Yeah,
to do a
shooting
throwback
characters
to
now,
the
like,
to its
yeah.
to its roots.
The reason it
Yeah.
was a turnoff for you was because Final Fantasy 1 through 8 kept getting better.
right.
And then it
That's
went
what they
shitty.
did. They kept moving forward and
Right,
giving
the
you
bigger
better
people,
graphics,
human
bigger
people,
people,
like, yeah,
human
yeah.
people,
Like-
like working with the emotions. Then all of a sudden you got to 8 and you were like, wow, like it was really truly
It
impressive
looked
for
like
its time.
real humans finally.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden here come Final
Outside
Fantasy
of that.
9 and you were playing a cartoon. And you
Yeah.
noticed that when they went to 10, 11, 12,
They jumped back
13,
and they
they
went
were
back
like,
back,
we're
yeah.
never doing that shit again.
Right.
Until Final Fantasy 4DS. And
Well,
Final
from
Fantasy
what I've
3DS.
seen-
But that was
Yeah.
technology limitations. They couldn't have done perfect human represented characters on DS hardware.
Probably not.
They couldn't. Name one
Yeah.
game that does it.
I'm
Maybe
trying
they
to
thought-
think if
maybe
there
they
is
thought-
one.
Maybe they thought they would take them
On
too
that
far
scale,
away, though, you know what I
where
mean? Like,
you would go through that long of a game.
That's why I'm trying to think if there was one, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. So yeah, I can see
Right.
this one.
yeah. So,
I shall
Yeah,
not
I
argue
almost
this.
threw out a game and then realized no.
Yeah, that doesn't
Regardless
work.
of the
Yeah.
design of the characters,
Well, no, my
it's still
problem.
a good game.
The problem with the game I was going to
I
throw out
liked
was
it.
I was
I liked it a lot.
3DS, not D.
I like some of the things I heard about this game, like some of the mechanics and stuff.
They
I thought it
tried.
was
They
cool.
tried to go back to the roots of the series.
This is not the first
So-
time this has happened,
No.
where an art change has caused a lot of people to drop off. Because let's be honest, when you guys were playing A Link to the Past, and then you guys moved forward into Ocarina of Time, and then you guys went to Majora's Mask, and then it was looking like it was getting better and better and better, and all of a sudden they were like,
Wind
the
Waker.
Wind Awakens. And
Oh,
this,
yeah, Wind
this
Waker
weird
did come out
toon
before
link,
Twilight Princess.
this weird
Yes,
toon
it
link
did.
fucking popped up on your screen like, ha 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 ha, look at my
Once
eyes.
again,
Self-shaded,
regardless
bitch.
of character
a
design,
shell-
Wind Waker's
a
fucking
Yes.
Oh no, I
But-
love the artwork for Wind Waker.
Regardless-
it was the gameplay.
Regardless of whether you think it's a good game or not, the truth of the matter is that you can lose. Video games are an art form,
Right.
and simply making the wrong choice in one artful direction
Could
can
hurt-
alienate an entire market share.
Yeah.
Yeah, like making your entire
Well,
world
cell shaded
99%
graphics
water.
aside, they don't bother me. I mean, I think that's kind of cool.
I know.
And
Yeah,
making
they're
and
not
making
obnoxious.
Toon Link.
Yeah. I was about
Final
to say, the art
Fantasy
style
IX.
wasn't... My problem with Wind Waker, though, wasn't the art style. It was literally...
It was
sail,
99%
sail,
water
sail.
world.
Final
If I
Fantasy,
wanted to deal with Waterworld, I would put the DVD in and watch Kevin Costner with gills.
Final
I had
Fantasy,
more fun with that movie than that game.
Final Fantasy IX's biggest problem
Was chibi.
was its art direction. It chose to go with a look that alienated people.
The backgrounds looked great though.
I could not identify with it. That's a big deal. If I can identify more with an 8-bit figure than I can with whatever I'm looking at, and I've seen other cartoon games that I could still identify
like
with,
Blue Dragon.
but they exist in a cartoon world. Final Fantasy IX was still using an art direction for what the world surrounded that looked like,
Real world.
like Earth. Or
With
something.
Yeah.
chibi people.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, there's all these caricatures walking around with giant heads and weird feet and plate mail
Girls, you can't
shorts.
tell how old they really are.
Plate
And
mail
then it's-
shorts.
Yeah.
And hippo people.
yeah, who does that?
Like, they were like, we're taking it back to the roots with dwarves and elves and hippo people and dogmen and cat ladies and rats
Pandas, right?
that
They had to have
are
pandas.
dragoons. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
No, wait.
We do not touch.
Doesn't matter how cool she
Rat
was.
lady who's a dragoon dressed as a red mage.
Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
cool
That's Inception.
it was.
That's Inception.
Doesn't matter how cool she
Job
was.
Ratception, yeah, Jobception.
You get crazy about it, but
It's the red goon.
they said they were taking it back to basics. They were going back to what made Final Fantasy Final Fantasy. Through 1 through 8, find me a hippo man, a dog dude, a giant rat person.
As a technicality,
He's like, is it technically-
Final Fantasy 3, when you're a midget, all the rats are giant rat people.
They're giant rats, not people.
They might as well be.
They're not dressing in clothes.
And they're not giant either. You're this big.
Yeah, and they're massive compared to you.
So,
I'm
no.
really thinking. I need
So
time.
giant rat is understandable.
It was the
but not
art
giant
direction that alienated. And while the game
Yeah,
was
well, actually,
good,
rat. What was Bob Marley character guy? What race was he?
I have no clue. Gorilla Man.
Bob Marley race? Is that just what we're gonna call
He had
it?
gigantic hands.
I just call him
the dude
Marley.
right there?
Yeah.
The guy with the
Yeah,
red
Bob
hair.
Marley.
Yeah, he's Marley.
Yeah.
With the dreads?
Dude,
Yeah.
he's like one of my favorite characters in
Yeah.
the fucking game. 'Cause he's
It's
awesome.
seriously,
as hell.
everybody just jokingly calls him Bob Marley. It's like one
Right.
of the staples of the game.
But I do like Vivi a lot because he was like a
yeah,
traditional
Vivi was
black
like the
mage.
only decent designed character in the entire game, honestly.
Yeah, that actually wasn't
Because-
appealing to me because he's a
because
it's
he's a black
but
mage.
He's not a generic, like, he's not just called black
He
mage
is
guy.
he is
He's got a
child
name.
black mage.
Right. So he's
That is
actually
what
got-
he is. And they have black mages.
Right.
Yeah.
Big ass pot bellies.
The
That was neat.
the black
Fast black
mages were
cast
really
player.
cool design.
But that's a big deal when you talk about a franchise this big. I mean, you can't sell Pokemon and have it be one way for 17 generations, and then all of a sudden in the very next generation be like, the next game is going to be
Action adventure.
Paper Mario Pokemon, and it's going to play like Tails.
That would definitely.
Now, while that might be cool,
Except for
art
graphic,
direction-
I didn't care for the Paper Mario.
the
graphics.
art
I was about to say,
direction.
technically, we already had the Paper Mario Pokemon. It was called Pokemon.
No, that was back. That was
Cardboard
back when
cutouts.
it was on
No,
Game Boy.
no. It's
I'm
still
talking
different.
Paper Mario. Like all of them, they're going to exist in a world of paper, and it's going to take place
okay,
in
fair
it's going to be a storybook Pokemon, but it's going to be an official game and part of the RPG series. We're just changing everything about it.
Yeah. I actually think it would be a threat.
Paper Mario is actually pretty sweet.
I think
People-
Pokemon needs to be redone.
People would be interested, but a giant portion of the fan base,
Would leave.
like me for Final Fantasy, when I seen 9, I was like, oh,
Ouch.
that's just not right. Then I started playing 9, and like I said, it was somewhat uneventful for me. I did complete the game, but I don't even remember doing it. That's a terrible game for
It happens to
me.
me with a lot
The
of
controversy
RPGs. I don't remember
behind the
names,
game
I'm
is
like, oh,
that I've been listening to is not only the look of the game. People were irritated because its battle speed was a slower game.
That's true
Well,
too.
that and to build up your limit break was so
And,
ass.
yes, because you can't
you
control
would get
it.
right before a boss. You know there's a boss because you've been killed by it 6 times because
and you
shenanigans.
trance because of
And you get your trance
enemy
ready to
hits
go,
you.
and then a fucking goblin comes up and he's like, "Hey, you're about to do that? Goblin punch, kick to the dick. Oh, you're in trance mode. Grind for another 20 hours.
Now that does
Get
suck.
that trance built back
And the
up."
final
bitch."
boss of the game.
Ridiculous.
But by
was also
God,
a
that
joke.
goblin died.
A lot of people did not like the final boss of the game because there was no mention of him ever. He just
Shane?
appeared.
Who is the final boss? Because I'm pretty sure when we went over 9, I specified, I even laid out, this is the last thing I remember of this game. I know I beat it, but here's the last thing I remember from this game. And it was literally walking into the final boss room.
I remember running down
That's
the
all I
tree,
remember.
and I remember going back to the castle, and that fucking
Oh,
the
well, I remember
Garnet
the
walked
end
over, and
cutscene,
I
but
like
that was it.
hugged her. And
But the last actual gameplay stuff was like, I was walking down this giant tree with a huge-ass harp in it. It's like, oh, dude, that's the final area.
The final boss is death itself, pretty much, and he may have been mentioned maybe slightly, like once or twice in the game, but not enough for you to conclude that he'd be your final enemy.
No, because
he just comes out of nowhere.
he's just like, hey, I
Everyone-
heard you be the
everyone
final boss.
thinks Kuja's going to be the final
or
boss.
Garland when he shows up.
Because Kuja, you've been fucking with Kuja this whole game.
Well, you see, with final bosses, there's a company that's set up. It's a lot like Manpower or Trillium. And if you don't have a job, you can apply to be a final boss. And if a game like Final Fantasy IX hasn't went through the trouble of picking one yet,
They
can
send
they can
you.
outsource their final boss from that company. See?
It was just weird.
And,
I was
and
thinking
you
about,
might
like,
get a call in
Resident
about
Evil
6
because you got
years.
the box right
Because
there.
I
You
assumed
fight
that
Wesker the whole game. And
I
then
Yeah.
assumed that
at the end,
Kuja
they're
was
just
going
like a dog that's like, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
assumed that Kuja was going to be the final boss because you've been messing with
The
him
dog
this
with the
entire
Wesker
game.
mask.
Yeah.
'cause Wesker's
But when I
on
watched my
strike.
buddy beat this game, and my buddy was playing it, and he got to the final guy, I'm like, "Who are you? What are you? Why are you here?"
Because
Yeah.
Because there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the reason he is the final boss. Because
villains for hire.
and he needed a job.
What's our next one?
Coming in at number 9 with a 2.63 is Final Fantasy X-2, the HD for PlayStation 3 and 4.
Because
I
sometimes you
like
have
the
to
job
get naked
system in
to
the game.
become awesome.
I like a job system where I can turn on the fly. I like that because if there's a situation that called for something, I can just switch.
So wait a minute. Wait, you like the system where you can change jobs on the fly?
Here it comes. Here
Yeah,
it
Hey,
comes.
Greg,
I
you
knew
wanna
this was
tag team
coming.
this with me, buddy?
I knew it was
Oh,
coming.
what other fucking game in the Final Fantasy series does that? Oh, let me think. The one that scored the lowest, I believe, right, Greg?
Yeah.
I believe that was
Yeah.
one where you could change jobs on the fly.
And I think my biggest
believe
problem.
it.
I think my biggest problem with that is that in other Final Fantasies, I can already do magic.
Right.
Like, I think the biggest thing that bothered me is like there's 3 classes in Final Fantasy 13 for
No.
each character. There's like
No,
a Ravager.
Everyone can break into every single thing, just they're limited on the levels that they can do it.
Okay, whip out your E-Dick and go ahead, lay it on me, because
I'm confused.
as far as I'm
I'm
concerned,
telling
this
you
is
what
the truth
brought
of it,
down
man.
fucking Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
Unlike 10-2, I knew what the fuck was going on.
And I have-
Unlike 13,
Yeah.
I didn't have to go into the fucking menu and read about what was going on.
I have no
I
fucking.
could just play
I
the
have
fucking game.
no
and go.
control.
I wasn't going with the story. I'm just saying.
You're
the
talking.
balance
No,
system.
they're wanting to argue battle system. You have no control. You fucking hit R or L, switch to a job, and then hit auto.
You don't have to hit auto.
You
You can
I
choose.
never hit auto.
I always chose what I used.
Yeah, I always
The
choose
fact that it gives
But
you
I did
automation
auto.
is
I mean-
what also sucked. Because all the other Final Fantasies, you go through it and you choose
Right.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
But if you're
Right.
feeling lazy,
And everybody says
That's
that.
why you die, though.
Hold
People
on.
used to tell me, I hate the new battle system. I'm dying a lot. And I'm like, why, though? Like, I switch over real quick. I know I want to hit him with this guy. I know they can do this move. I go, you do that move. Next guy, I'm like, you stay with your shit. Next dude, you switch this and you do that. Bam, we break. You stagger the boss guy. He's like, oh no. And I beat his ass. And then I'm like, there you go. And that's why I loved it, because you had to think on your feet. I don't think I ever hit auto. But
As
I didn't even
opposed
know
to think,
it
as
I
opposed
hit
to
auto
thinking on
when
your
I knew
feet.
for a fact I was just grinding.
Yeah, when you grab
Yeah.
it, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're
Yeah.
fighting some meaningless bitch
Brick little
enemy,
dude, yeah.
if you're in a boss fight, you have to select what attack you
Yeah,
actually
you
have.
have-
As opposed to
It seemed
thinking
like
on
you
your
had
feet in
issues.
any other game.
Because you made it, you laugh like something.
When he said meaningless
Right.
bitch enemy, it's like the start bitch enemy returns when you get to the next place.
Ah.
And then you
Yeah.
start that whole little chase scene to get to the, I guess, spear or whatever.
Wait, what? What are we talking about?
He's talking 10-2.
He's talking about 10-2.
I'm talking about
Okay,
10-2.
we should-
Oh!
okay. We were all.
We're
yeah,
chasing
we were on
down to get
13.
Yuna's spear
Yeah.
back.
Well, she
Okay.
already got
I
the
didn't play
spear back, but it was
10-2,
like
so.
the group found another spear somewhere else, but the same
Oh,
group
yeah,
came back.
the first memory
You find
spear
him-
that's
you
like
find him
cracked or something
again,
like that. That
and
shit
then
has to
after you
fix.
find them again, you have to chase them all the way up this temple thing.
Mount
And you're
Yagazet.
you're being timed. and you
Dude,
have
the
to-
LeBlanc Syndicate is a goddamn joke, okay?
Yeah.
They are a
They are
goddamn
not
joke.
challenging. They are pussies.
What
They
are they
shouldn't
called?
even... They're called the LeBlanc Syndicate.
Led by LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
figure, right?
Yeah, they're a joke. You fight them multiple times throughout the game, and they never give you a problem.
Yeah, because they're the main rivals of the Gull Wings.
That's a joke. That must mean there must not be a lot of spear hunters.
Oh,
out
no,
there.
there are, but there's just like...
Like,
It's
Team
more like
Rocket.
us walking out and be like, you know what sounds like a cool idea today, guys? You know, let's go hit up the GameStop. Let's go hit up Mega Replay. Let's go hit Acme Comics. Go get some food. And, you know, if we feel like it, maybe we'll just look around a little bit, see if we find a spear. That's how everybody else is in the world. But you got the LeBlancs who are like, oh my god, we need these spears. Sell for money.
They're Team Rocket
Yeah, they're... Well, no, they're not Team Rocket.
from the cartoon series.
That's better.
They're about
Because
as incompetent
Team
as
Rocket
them.
from the games is actually the good guys.
No,
Yeah, they are.
no.
Read the theory.
I've
Before
seen
we
that
get into
stupid
a
It
fucking
actually
thing.
makes a
No.
lot of sense.
What is number
No.
8? What is number 8?
Yeah, what's
I don't want
the
to get
next
into
one? Can we move
Pokemon
on?
debate.
Yeah, because we'll be here for
Because
years.
first off, Mewtwo was not even created by them, or owned by them, or used by them. Like,
Just go.
and nobody
Next.
was hunting Mewtwo. He was hanging out in a cave. Like, who the fuck cares? You don't need to save the world from some guy that's sleeping.
Yeah, don't fuck with the guy.
Yeah,
that
but
can
if he
kill
just
you.
gets a wild hair up his ass,
I like how in Pokemon X, we
suddenly
walk
the
in,
world's
though,
on fire
If he
and
gets,
everyone's
if he
dead.
gets a
Like,
wild hair up his
oh,
ass, he only
like,
has 139 hit points. Eventually, they'll kill it. He's not that fucking dangerous. And there's only one of him.
Well, you should see
fucking-
the new.
Actually, yeah.
And he's weak to bugs and
Right.
fucking psychics.
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
I saw one of the
Actually,
new
the
movies with
thing
Jensen
everyone
in it.
should be afraid
He
of
can do
is
all kinds of-
Esper.
I don't know, man. Mewtwo in that new movie with Gensect, everybody's like, oh, it's Gensect, watch out. Mewtwo's like, yeah, and he, like, travels, like, faster than the Flash can run. Like, Mewtwo's, like, in the movie, they made him stupid, and it doesn't, like, somebody was falling down, and he's, like, on the other side of the planet, Superman style, and he's, like, oh no, Ash. And was
Yeah.
there and just caught him, and I was like, no! I was like, what? If Mewtwo's this broke, no wonder everybody wants him, because he's just, he do whatever
I'm
he
sorry.
wants. He's
In
I'm
the
sorry,
show-
Bill killed it.
and
for
enemies
me.
were coming at him, and he like psychically
He's-
stopped them.
He's
They couldn't
weak
even move.
against
It's like,
bugs.
yeah, right.
Fucking
He
send
is.
a Weedle in there.
Well, he was beating Genesis.
Oh, no,
Well,
Weedle
he's
get
a
his
little
ass
bad,
kicked.
but-
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the original game,
Right.
you could send in a friggin'
Beedrill.
Ladybot.
yeah.
All right, so what's the next one on our list? Because apparently we're done with 10
I also want to know
because,
if any of these Final Fantasy numbers actually match up their rank. Like we're on
I
Final
don't
no,
know.
we got close though.
Yeah.
9 was 10, and 11 was 12.
Oh no.
To be fair, does anybody actually want to say something about Final Fantasy X-2 before we jump
We
off of
already
it?
kind of did.
Well,
Because the
It's
only thing you
kinda
did was
like-
argue
It's
about
eye
13.
candy.
It's fan service the game.
The story.
But it was kind of neat.
The
I was gonna
story-
say
The
if you're
story was weak.
because if you're gonna
It
say
kinda
it's fan
continues
service
that.
the game, it got
Kinda.
number 9 on our countdown of
We really like
17.
fan service.
No, fan service
we like
for
we
people
like
who
stuff.
really absolutely love Riku.
Okay, I liked her.
It
I
got
didn't
number
play the game.
9 on our countdown. That means everybody here had to have given it enough to put it above a lot of other
Well,
games,
I
and
like-
nobody has anything to say
I
about
like
it.
the battle system because I said, when I started this, I like the interchangeable
I
stuff.
See, this
did
proves
not.
that it's just hate because
The story.
13
I
shots.
also like
I
that
did.
depending on the job situations, if you started here and moved across the grid to go to different jobs, you could stat buff those jobs.
Well, actually, you had to
the
also
mascot.
choose
I'm
which
sorry. I could
which,
dress like a
uh,
Tonberry
grid you wanted
for the
to.
win.
Right, but that's part of it. You could stat
I
buff
didn't
your
like the
jobs
combat
depending on how you
system.
do it. I like the
I-
combat
I
system.
start off, guess what? You're getting shot by one guy. Oh, now you're getting attacked by another guy. Oh, now you're getting shot by another guy. Now you're getting... It's like, where's my attack
What are you talking about?
on 10-2?
It was an active time meter, so if
Yeah.
characters weren't
I
fast
don't-
enough,
Yeah, that's just
Your
level
meter
grinding.
didn't
I don't
build
understand.
up.
That's
I never
No,
had
this is
that
from the
problem.
start.
yeah.
I never had that. You must change jobs too often or
No,
something.
no. This is the start.
I could put it in and show it to you. I have no
I've
idea what
never
you're
had that
talking
issue.
about, dude.
I did.
Did it take you were you taking a long time to pick your actions or something?
No, I was like, okay, attack. What the?
You
Okay,
need
attack
to
like-
you need to go to your configuration menus or something. You have something set funny because I'm telling you, man, that doesn't make sense to me. Nobody here knows what you're dealing with.
I will tell you what I didn't like about 10-2, and I think I mentioned it when we did the review, is I didn't like how it ended. It didn't make no sense. It made zero sense. No
I
sense
know why
at all.
I gave this thing a not great score.
Also,
0.01% completion.
also
away.
having to get
That's
100%.
I remember you giving it something like a 2.
I couldn't tell.
Because I want to say you were one of the people that liked the fact that the job system came back and that it was an on-the-fly job system. You credited its battle system.
Which
You
was
liked
actually
it.
neat.
You liked the physics of like when they changed costumes. You didn't call it pervy or nothing. You just liked how it looked, like how they would
Well,
jump
yeah,
up
it's
across the moon and shit like that,
Like
and do
Sailor
crazy
Moon.
things. And
Well, it's like Riku when she went thief mode. She did this backflip in front of Moon in shadows.
Right.
Suddenly she's got her daggers back.
right.
Or Eunice, she did this like twirl thing and two guns popped out. She's like, bitches.
And I
don't
liked the take of old classes in a new Final Fantasy. Because new Final Fantasies, they don't work like that. Like Final Fantasy VIII, Squall is very obviously your warrior, but he wears a belly shirt, leather coat, and has a gunblade. I mean, they've changed the demographic. The monk is a dude with a tattoo on his face, and he's wearing
Short
surfer
Shorts and,
gear.
yeah,
Like, so, I mean, they changed it.
And then
But
we
it
have
was,
a dominatrix.
it was neat.
That's a new class introduced into
Yeah.
it.
It was neat to see all these old classes come back represented in a new art style
It was,
for the modern game.
I think that the story...
Like all the black mages. They still had that black mage oddness, but it was very obvious that these were something from an old idea in a new universe. And all the dragoons looked pretty cool, and all the warriors kind of had like an interesting
I
look
like
to
how the
them.
Dark Knights looked.
The Dark Knights were pretty fucking.
I also
see
like
what I
how
mean?
the samurais looked. And they each
The
had
samurais did look pretty sweet,
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
and they
Yeah.
and they each had their own like special transformation. Where like paint like Luna. Oh my god,
Yuna.
Yuna had like flower petals around behind her.
Oh,
and like
Yuna became the giant flower
and then like
lady.
Kane had like a Machina fucking weird scissor thingy. You can't really explain it. And then
Riku was the Machina one.
And for you guys that actually liked
I will be
13,
replaying it, so I will remember.
for you guys that actually liked 13, this battle system, in a way, is
Was
what
the
led
precursor.
to that. It's the
Right.
precursor that sets the ideas. You never enter a battle where there's like 4 enemies, and all you got to do is run up and like, oh, well, there's these 4 enemies. I'll just sword slash every single one of them and move on. Like it was part of the system to change the jobs on the fly depending on the enemies you were presented with, which they streamlined it and made it faster.
It's just, for me, I mean, the story was fine. I mean, if you want to go sphere hunting, go sphere hunting. The ending was bizarre as fuck.
Yeah, there's
Even
3 of them.
discounting
They're
that,
dumb.
it wasn't a tragic story that it went into the events that
2 years after Sin's defeat, Yuna's trying to find Titus.
you can no. That's no.
Pretty much it.
That was
started
not the
kinda.
story at all. She was having nightmares of dying next to a man that looked like him, but she knew it couldn't be him. Later on, it was revealed that what she was seeing was the sphere grid thing that they were messing around with that allowed them to tap into jobs actually held memories from previous owners. One of the previous owners was somebody from a lifetime ago who thought, like years ago, sin was real. It came out of the ocean, and there was a Xanarkin, and somebody turned around and said, oh, shit! And they tried to fight it. They made giant mechs, used quote-unquote machina, different forms of weapons, and the government kind of stood in, and it started all the stuff where that religion thing kind of started
They
taking
should've
over.
called Shinra Company and borrowed the Junin cannon.
And as all of this was taking place, she was reliving the death of the original guy who was the basis of the dream for what created Tidus.
It's because Shuyin and Tidus look very
Because
similar.
Shuin was a hero, or was attempting to be one. He was on a
He was
weird
an
side.
asshole.
He was an asshole, but there was a purpose behind it. That thing has to die. Like, and whatever the shit,
Do you want me
Yeah.
to be super polite?
like whatever the shit has to happen, I have to kill that thing.
Sometimes you must be polite once you're about to go and commence fisticuffs with giant scary
So, yeah,
monster things.
The biggest problem with this game was the eye candy. It's just like I just said with Final Fantasy IX. A lot of people see the way it looks, they see the eye candy, they see the gimmick, they see the Charlie's Angels, they hear the pop music, and they go,
The fuck happened to my
Fuck
Final
it.
Fantasy?
and they walk away. And that's fine, because I did it for 9. I'm not going to dog anybody that did it for 10 too. But if you play it and pay attention, there's a lot deeper shit going on in 10-2 than this girl is looking for her dead boyfriend. It's way fucking deeper than that. It's a Final Fantasy.
Well, that's how most people, when you ask them, that's what they say, exactly that. They say, oh, Yuna's just looking for...
Yeah,
Well, she didn't start
it had
she
nothing to
didn't
do
start
with
her
that.
journey looking for him. She said it all started when I seen this sphere of you. Before she seen that sphere, she was not looking for him. She was living her life. But she happened to come across a sphere that had a guy that looked like Tidus, and she's like, oh shit, let's go find him.
So what she's actually trying to do is figure out, is there even the slightest possibility that he's alive? And as you go through the game, you figure out, no, he's not alive. This is the other guy. And you piece his history together.
And yet, if you get the 100% completion,
Yes, that is the
He
biggest
is
problem
alive.
I have, is
Yes.
I don't understand.
But since there has never
apparently
been...
her will was so much, she created him again.
But since there has never been a 10-3,
Thankfully.
what they call the 100% ending and what people refer to as the true ending, you don't know that. Chances are, if there's a 10-3, that didn't happen. And if it did happen, there's going to be an entire game explaining why he was granted life by the Dreamers again.
There was a
Because
last
the dreamers
mission.
were dead.
Right, but that doesn't mean that there's not... I mean, you're living in a world of magic that created the possibility that dreams could even come to life. So maybe the manifest of the fact that he helped end it and wake them up Maybe they did grant him a wish as he fell into the clouds.
But
That I can.
there's that last mission thing that was included with the remastering
Yes.
and stuff.
Yes.
Which
haven't
I've
done
yet
the
to play.
remastered bit.
I've yet to play it.
It is like 2 months after you complete, I think, 10-2, but there's no hint of Tidus anywhere. Just
Which gives the indication that that is not the true ending.
I think
It's just an extra thing for people that want to be a completionist and try to hold over somebody's head.
I think it also has something to do with closure. People just want to see those two back, to see Tidus.
And that's true too. A lot of people, not just ladies, guys too, think that that was the first real love story of Final Fantasy's 3D age.
A lot of people said that out of all the Final Fantasy romances,
Because Squall and Renoa,
No.
no.
Squall and Queesis would have been believable.
Yeah. It would've been.
And as for fucking Cloud and Tifa,
It would have been more like
I think
Cloud.
Aerith
Cloud
also
Aerith.
kind of complicated the matter
I thought it was Aaron.
by making.
Well, it was Cloud and Aerith, but that was actually a forced upon Cloud thing because he stole Zack's identity.
Right, and Zack and Aerith were.
Zack and Aerith were, but that's not until
Cloud-
Crisis
You're right, but I don't
Cloud
think
and Tifa was the one who grew up with each other. So.
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
then
don't
that's
think
But he didn't
so
remember that until
But a true
halfway
but,
through disc 2.
but like
But love is something that happens. We don't plan on it. We don't chase it down in an alleyway because, truth be told, what we're chasing isn't real.
I don't
Now,
believe-
Tidus didn't walk into the situation giving a shit about her.
No.
She didn't walk into the situation giving a shit about him.
all he wanted
They
to do
grew
was
on
go
each other.
home.
And she wanted to die.
She wanted to die. He wanted to go.
There's a
home.
deeper thing to that, but
Right.
regardless, that's
Right.
what was going on. And they came together, and people thought that that was the first felt real love connection in the games, and people were begging for that. So here's the end of your game. You get him back. Fucking closure for the fucking bleeding heart.
That's the only thing I can think of because I was like, what the fuck?
But for us, we're like, that dude's kind of dead.
That dude doesn't exist anymore.
But we live in a universe
Honestly,
where fucking
no,
fire
you want to know
things.
somebody I would rather
Can you
have
take it out?
back? Somehow give Orin his life back.
Well, see, that's what I'm
That
getting
guy
at.
was
You
cool.
also live in a universe where there's fireflies that fucking bring people back to life, and they do bring them back to life because there's even that scary moment, and it is kind of scary if you really stop to think about it, where the Maester walked off the far plane. He was like, you know what? I'm alive.
You talking about Jisco?
Yeah. He walked out of
Oh,
that room.
yeah, he did.
He was coming back. He was like, yeah, so I was kind of wrongfully dead, so I'm just gonna come back now. And they were like, fuck, kill him because he knows shit.
Right.
Kill him right now. And they were like, don't worry, every now and then fucking dead people walk off of the far plane. What?
Right. Wait
Do
a
you
minute.
just happen to have a
Well-
summoner nearby?
well-
because if you don't send him,
Orin was already like that.
Right.
He
But-
was literally like, all right, I gotta go do this weird dream shit, and then I gotta go help
I like
you
I was
go
the
do this
Guados
other
were just
shit.
like
So
blah blah blah.
yeah,
blah,
this whole
blah.
far plane thing. Yep, nope, we're not doing that.
And how does that happen? Because these Guados that
So,
the
you
Guados should
live
have
in
been
a-
like, what the fuck?
You live in a
you doing?
universe where anybody can come back.
Right.
And hell, a third of the cast was dead. So there's no fucking difference or divide in life and death in that universe. So why not bring him back?
Then why didn't Waka's brother ever come back?
That's a good question
Maybe he
because
didn't
the
want to.
others just come back.
When you have Lulu to come back to, you want to come back.
Maybe he found somebody that wore real dresses instead of belts and he was into that more. Conservative guy, maybe.
No, definitely not.
Well, maybe it would have made more sense for him to come back.
Maybe
and
he
say,
found a nice boy.
Damn!
You think Chapu's gay?
He didn't come back for Lulu. He must be getting reamed up the ass by somebody.
Oh my god, he's hating.
Yeah, he found
Is
sugar.
the far
Hey.
plane prison?
Coming in at part